welcome back to my channel. So as I'm sure you can see, this is going to be Charlie's 18-month update. I actually filmed this video back in the beginning of December, right when she turned 18 months, and it was way too long. It was way too scattered all over the place. I didn't like it. So my plan was to refilm it, and then the holidays hit. We had family staying with us, so here we are. And she's basically 19 and a half months, and we're doing her 18-month update. So we're just gonna go with it, and the only thing I can say is now that we've been through the whole 18th month, I feel like I'm a little bit more knowledgeable about it than I was back in early December. So probably a good reason we're waiting until now to do it. So we will jump in. Okay, and if you hear a lot of birds, that's actually Charlie's playing in her room right now. And she has like a sound machine that does all different sounds, and she loves the bird sound, so she turns it on every day. So if you hear like random birds, that's what it is. So I'm just gonna kind of jump in and kind of split this up into 4 categories that I'll talk about, I guess, kind of like the top 4 that I think are, you know, most apparent during this age right now. So the first one, we're just gonna go over like her sleep and kind of typical schedule, routine, that sort of stuff. Second, I'll go over like food, nutrition, what she's eating, what she's not eating. Hint, that's the bigger list. Third, I'll kind of delve into discipline, what we're doing, what's working for us. And then I'll wrap it up with kind of some possible like speech delays and maybe some early intervention that we're gonna seek out right now. So I will jump into that. Charlie's just gonna kind of be coming and going. She does not just want to sit here. I have some toys down here for her if she wants to play, but she's probably just gonna keep running in and out because that's what she does. Okay, so first thing I'll kind of go over is like her sleep, like typical schedule. So we're kind of still in the midst of the 18-month sleep regression, and it didn't really affect her sleep overnight too much, fingers crossed. It's really kind of more affected her nap schedule and that afternoon nap. She does take one nap. She's been taking one nap since she was probably 15 months. We switched her to one nap a day as opposed to 2. So typically her nap is anywhere between 1 and 1:30, and she would sleep anywhere between 3, 3.5, sometimes even 4 hours. So she took a nice long afternoon nap. And then we would put her back down to sleep by 8 o'clock. So that was kind of her typical schedule. Probably I would say a week or 2 after she turned 18 months, the schedule got a little wonky. I think a lot of it had to do with we had family visiting, it was the holidays, our routine was not how it normally is. So everything just kind of got thrown off. And she started really fighting her nap schedule and wanting to go down later and later and later. And then she wanted to sleep later. So she was not falling asleep until probably, thank you. She brought me her bike helmet. She was probably not falling asleep until close to like 3:30, sometimes even 4 o'clock. And then wanting to sleep really late, which obviously does not work too well because then she didn't want to go back to sleep at nighttime. Okay, I tried a couple days just going along with it and skipping her nap, and she's not ready for that. She would be like completely miserable meltdown status by 5 o'clock. And I just realized she's not ready to give up her nap, which I didn't think she was. It was just more of me kind of trying some stuff out. So we just kind of been going with it as best we can. It's still a little iffy sometimes, but I'm really just trying to keep her routine as consistent as possible and just do kind of the nap wind down routine each afternoon so that just sticks with being her routine. But kind of with any sleep regression, like my viewpoint has always been you kind of just have to ride it out and go with it, and see what happens, and you try new things, you try things that don't work. So for now, it's not horrible. Like I said, her sleep at night is still awesome. She's still sleeping through the night, sleeping like anywhere between 11 to 12, sometimes 13 hours a night. So I can't complain at all. It's just the nap time that can be hit or miss. So that's kind of her typical like schedule routine right now that we're going with. So moving on to her food and nutrition and kind of how she's eating. So from the time she was just over 6 months old, we did baby led weaning. So we never did purees or anything like that with her. We did the traditional baby led weaning route, which if you haven't looked into it, I highly recommend it, but I also highly recommend that you do your research on it, because there's definitely, you have to be safe in doing it, and you have to be knowledgeable about what you're doing in order to do it correctly. So I'll leave a link down below with the website and the resources that I did a lot of research on, but it worked out wonderful for us. I would do it again with our future kids. It was great. I have nothing but good things to say about it, but it's not for everybody. So anyway, we did baby led weaning from the get-go, and she was an awesome eater from the time she was 6 months old. She would try everything. She would eat everything. It was great. Right around when she hit, I would say like 13 months, between like 13 and 15 months, she started getting a little pickier, which is common just with the age, so I wasn't too concerned about it. And the pickiness has, the best way to say it, it has its ups and downs. Like, she will have, every day is different. There are things that she will eat consistently for weeks, and then one day just decide she doesn't like it anymore. And there will be things that she will not try. You know, I will keep offering, and then just one day she eats it, she loves it, and you go from there. So each day is a little bit different as far as her eating, but I still would, I guess, I still would constitute her a little bit of a picky eater. Vegetables are hit or miss. There's definitely ones that she loves. She loves carrots. She loves peas. She loves cucumbers. She will not try broccoli. We do keep offering it, but she will not try it. So I know one day she will. And she seems to like raw vegetables more than she likes cooked vegetables. So like for something as simple as like zucchini, she won't eat it cooked, but she'll eat it raw. So, which is fine by me. It actually makes it way less work for me. I just cut up raw vegetables for her and give them to her. But as far as like sharing dinners and stuff with her, it's not always successful, because if the vegetables are cooked, chances are she won't eat them. So she's a really good meat eater. She loves beef, she loves sausage, she loves chicken, she loves hot dogs. So she's a really good meat eater. She's she eats literally every type of fruit known to man. She loves fruit. So as far as meat and fruit go, she is like on board with those. Pastas, grains, that sort of thing, kind of hit or miss. She likes toast. She loves peanut butter sandwiches. She likes pasta, like spaghetti, pasta noodles. Rice is, I think part of it is it's hard for her to eat. We're still working on eating with a spoon, using our utensils. I think that was kind of the one area of, sorry, she really wants me to put her helmet on. That was the one area, I think, of baby-led weaning that I would do differently, is I would offer utensils much earlier than I did with her. I kind of waited a while to offer utensils, and I think that that's kind of delayed her interest in them. So, certain things I think it's just harder for her to eat because she's still working on using utensils. So, but overall, I would say she's a good / okay eater. She's not, I wouldn't constitute her a great eater. But as with toddlers, every day is different. So I just go with it. I go by her cues. I don't force her to eat anything. If she tells me she's done, she's done. And if she gets hungry a little bit later, I will just offer what she was eating before. So then, I forget what I was saying. Sorry, I had a phone call, so I had to pause it for a second. So I will always offer her one thing that I'm not sure she'll eat. And then there will always be at least 1 to 2 things on her plate that I know guaranteed she'll eat. So then I feel confident that she's getting nutrition, but I'm still offering new things and things that she may have turned down previously. And it does work for us. I mean, sometimes it takes days, weeks, even like a month or more for her to try things that she would normally not be interested in. But that's the whole kind of approach to baby led weaning, is you just keep offering new things and eventually they're gonna try it. It might take a few tries, it might take 50 tries, but you just keep offering it. I trust that she'll eat when she's hungry, and I feel confident that she's getting enough nutrition, so we just go with it day by day. Another great resource on Instagram that I love is the Instagram page. I forget exactly what it's called, so I don't want to say it wrong, but it's something like Feeding the Littles or Feeding Littles. I'll tag it down below in the description. But that's a great resource if you're struggling with picky eaters, or if you have a baby that you're kind of looking into which route as far as introducing solids. That's a really good resource to look into. So I'll tag that down below. So moving on, we'll kind of delve into discipline a little bit, because I know this is a hot subject for this age, kind of once they hit that like right in between 1 and 2, you know, the tantrums can start a bit more. They can kind of start testing things a little bit, getting a little bit more confident with what they feel they can do. We're totally in the middle of that right now, and it's a learning curve. She's learning, I'm learning, so definitely it's a really big learning time for both of us. But really kind of the route we're going as far as discipline is, I guess I wouldn't even call it discipline, because we really are not disciplining her, I guess, in the sense that I view discipline. I view discipline as like timeouts, like reprimanding, that sort of thing, and we haven't done any of that yet. And I don't anticipate going down that route unless I feel it's necessary. Right now, I just really understand that all of her tantrums and meltdowns and times that she gets upset or she goes against what I'm asking her to do, there's usually a reason for it. So it's usually one of 2 things, or I guess one of 3 things. It's she's either tired, so we're getting near nap time, bedtime, or she just is tired. 2, she's hungry. She gets very hangry. So if she's having a tough time with something, chances are she is starting to get a little bit hungry, so we can always kind of redirect her attention to having a snack or sitting down, relaxing with a meal. And then the 3rd is just kind of overstimulated or overwhelmed. So if we're, you know, if we've had kind of a busy day where we've been out and about, or she's been at a big group activity, or we've had a lot of people over, like family's been over. I noticed this a lot at the holidays when we had a lot of families, you know, staying with us. She gets overstimulated and overwhelmed, and that turns into, you know, tantrums and not, you know, still trying to figure out how to kind of cope with those feelings and the frustrations that she's going through. And, you know, she's still learning how to communicate that. So we're just kind of going with it in that sense. So usually, I mean, she honestly has never had a quote tantrum that I could not pinpoint to one of those 3 areas. So that to me tells me that I need to stop what I'm doing and, get her situated to a point where she's more comfortable. I am a huge believer in the Montessori method approach of discipline and learning. So that is definitely where, we kind of take most of our cues from. I truly don't believe she is at an age where she can cognitively defy us right now. She doesn't do things because she knows better or because she knows it's going to upset us. I truly don't believe she's capable of that yet. It's all just her trying to figure it out and trying to cope with how her world works right now. But really what's worked for us is when she's having a really hard time or she's getting really frustrated, if she is doing something that's unsafe and we're telling her not to do it, or we're trying to, we're in a public situation where she, for safety reasons or just for, getting through that moment, she has to do something she may not want to do. And sometimes that will cause a tantrum. So really what I try to do is I try to get down to her level. I speak really slowly and calmly. And in as little words as possible, I explain to her what I am trying to do or what I need her to do in that moment. And 9 out of 10 times, she responds to it and she'll go along with it, even if it's really not what she wants to do. So for example, kind of our biggest struggle right now is I'm trying to teach her that when we're in a parking lot or we're crossing the street or that sort of thing, she has to hold my hand or I have to hold her, or someone has to be holding her. It's not her favorite thing right now because she wants to be independent, she wants to run. So she'll get frustrated, she'll throw her hand, she'll sometimes throw her body down, she'll start crying, she'll try to run away from me. All of that's normal in my sense. I don't see any of that as a big deal other than, yes, it can be unsafe. So I will usually just try to get her attention. I get down to her level. I slowly tell her, mommy needs to hold your hand because we are in a parking lot and it's not safe and mommy needs you to be safe. So can you please hold mommy's hand? And usually she'll go along with it and she'll hold my hand. I'll thank her. I'll tell her that she's a great listener. I'll explain where we're going or what we are doing, and kind of start off on a new conversation with her. And like I said, 9 out of 10 times it works great. I don't want to delve too much into it because I think it's a really broad topic and I could honestly go on and on for a while about it because I'm really passionate about, positive discipline and structure. But I'll just leave it there for now. So if you have questions about it, let me know. So I'll wrap up with the final thing, which is probably like kind of the hottest topic right now in our kind of life with Charlie at the moment, is kind of her verbal communication and speech. So Charlie is definitely not very verbal at the moment. She is, I guess, she communicates in her own way. She communicates a lot with noises. She still relies heavily on sign language, and that is something that, we were big on teaching her as a baby. And it's really worked out amazing. So she relies on that pretty heavily still. And she kind of will use, little like grunts, noises. I guess that's the best way to communicate. So as far as words that she says, she really says, I would say consistently, 2 words, and that's it. So as far as like the average for her age, ideally, ideally it would be great if she were speaking more words consistently, but she's just not right now. I would be lying if I said I wasn't concerned about it, because I have a little bit of a concern with the fact that she's not that verbal yet, but I'm not at the point where I would say I'm worried. As far as Charlie goes, Charlie has always done everything on her own time when she's ready. So I am honestly confident that when she's ready to start communicating verbally, you know, with structured words, she will. And she's just not there yet. And that's okay. But when we had her 18-month appointment a few weeks ago, her pediatrician was kind of similar in the sense to the concerns I had. She wasn't concerned to the point where she felt it was a, you know, huge issue, but she also said that it's better to be safe than sorry as far as seeking some early intervention. So that's what we're gonna do. We are going to, we've gotten a referral for her to see a early intervention speech pathologist or speech therapist. I don't know exactly the correct term. So that actually gave me a huge peace of mind knowing we were doing that. I was secretly hoping that our pediatrician would want to go that route, just because I think it would be a really great tool for me and for Cody to have, just to kind of understand maybe what we can do more to encourage her to talk. She understands basically so much of what we tell her to do. Like if we give her direction, like please go to your room and put your, you know, toys in the basket, she will follow through and do it. Or, you know, can you go pick up your shoes and put them, you know, over here? She will follow through and do it. So she totally understands. So I don't feel like there's a huge delay as far as her communication. It's just, there's a little bit of a delay with her verbal communication. So we are going to be seeking that out. Sorry, I had to go make sure she wasn't climbing on something. So anyway, we are just using flashcards, really trying to keep words as simple as possible, and just really trying to encourage her as much as possible to repeat those simple words. And I've seen a little bit of improvement. I do see that sometimes she is trying, but like I said, she still just kind of relies heavily on her other forms of communication, which is, you know, predominantly the sign language, pointing, like actually going and showing us something. She'll get up and walk somewhere if, you know, we don't understand what she's asking. So we will get there. I'm excited to have that. I'm not going through the pages fast enough. Can you come up here and say hi? All right. Speaking of cards, these are kind of the flashcards that we're using. So she wants me to go through them right now. Okay, so I think that kind of wraps it up as far as the speech and everything I kind of wanted to go over in her 18-month update. Did you want to come say hi to the camera? Want to come say hi? You want to say hi? Say hi? Oh, can you wave? You say hi? You see yourself? Can you wave to the camera? No? Thank you. All right, you guys, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap it up there because she's getting a little fussy and would like some attention. So we're gonna go over our flashcards. Like I said, I'll leave links down below to things that have been useful for me with all the areas that I talked about. And if you have any other questions or want me to kind of go more in depth on any of the areas that I've covered in her update, please leave a comment down below and I'd be more than happy to. And we will see you all in our next video. Can you wave bye-bye? Bye-bye.